Hello and welcome to Ready Bet Action. It is, what time is it? It's like 6 o'clock Friday night. Football's going on. We're getting ready for a fantastic weekend of college football and sports in general. We have like the most ranked on ranked teams in like almost 10 years this weekend. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. Very excited. Eric, I'm sure you are too. We just closed up shop with the old 9 to 5. How are you doing getting ready for this weekend?
Dude, I'm enjoying a margarita so much right now. Just ready for the weekend to start. Starting with football tonight, which you can go check out our picks from yesterday if maybe you catch this before the Air Force game or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited to watch tonight. I'm excited for tomorrow. I got some kids soccer going on, and then I'm going to turn that right into a football weekend. And that sounds like a great combo of things to happen. So.
Yep. And we're probably going to be live streaming or recording or TikToking some way the Ohio State Notre Dame game. What side are you leaning on that? I know we don't have an official play on that game. Which way are you leaning? Where are you going to? I know you're going to put a bet on it. You're just not making it a show bet. So what are you putting down?
Yeah, I'm leaning Notre Dame, and honestly, like my main
money
reasoning
line
behind
or +3.
No, sorry, Notre Dame -3. They're favored. Yeah.
I'm checking.
No,
Notre Dame
let's check
+3.
it.
Yeah, Notre Dame
in that
+3.
case, Notre Dame +3, or honestly, even money line. I might go with it just because I'm really favoring the quarterback play. I don't think Ohio State's quarterbacks have looked great. I know they have the best wide receivers in the country, but Notre Dame's secondary is one of the strongest parts of their team. I do think Hartman's looked really good. This just feels like a different Notre Dame team to me this year. Like, don't get excited that I don't think they're necessarily going to win national championship, but I do think in South Bend, that place is going to be absolutely on fire for this game, a night game. And I think Notre Dame is going to show up tomorrow. So.
All right. I like it. I'm kind of leaning Ohio State.
That's fine.
Just because it is Ohio State. Hey, The other big game tomorrow, as far as you and I are concerned, we've got Colorado going to Oregon. Listen, I'm rocking the CU hat, but in all reality, let's go Ducks, baby. Oregon.
How many colors do you guys have? How many colors does Oregon have?
Rocking the Ducks gear. We are going to actually, I think it's going to be a fairly close game. I want no part of this. I was thinking maybe going with the over 70, but man, that's 10 touchdowns. I don't know if I can get there. We talked about Shedeur Sanders. Like, I don't know if he finishes the game if that offensive line can't protect him. I hope that doesn't happen because I love him. But yeah, I'm just nervous to put any money on this. So I'm just going to watch it. And I don't know. I'm just hoping for a fun game. I want Oregon to win, obviously, but I don't want like CU to get thrashed.
That's my biggest worry. Like, if it by close, I mean CU's covering the spread, and we get a bit of a track meet going on until Oregon like pulls away or something like that. Like, that would be exciting to me and exciting for CU fans. I think there will be a lot of questions if CU proceeds to get absolutely destroyed by Oregon and USC. If they look like they can hang for a while and then just in the end don't have the depth, I think that's more than fine for Prime's first year. If they just get destroyed these next 2 weeks, like, are we going to start talking about the flukiness of Prime's first 3 weeks?
No,
is what we'll kind of talk about.
People will, but people shouldn't.
Yes.
When people come up and start telling me that, I'm like, oh, so you also bet over 3.5 wins on the year? Oh, you didn't? Shut the fuck up. Like, that's where I'll be. I'm gonna be that guy.
Speaking of your questioning your fandom, I was in Chick-fil-A the other day, and right behind the lady, she had an Oregon tattoo on her calf. And I took a picture and I meant to send it to you. I have a buffalo tattoo. Do you have a duck or some kind of Oregon tattoo for your fandom, Dave?
I mean, I have the Colorado Rockies on my arm because I love baseball so much.
We both know that's true. Oh man, the sarcasm.
Hey, we've got some great plays for you guys this week. So this is for Saturday. So this is not just a college football show. We're going to start off with a soccer show. Premier League is back after we got to enjoy some Champions League this week. Made a lot of money there. Hope you followed. So my first play of the week: Luton Town hosts Wolves. Wolves are not a great team, but Luton Town is a very bad team. I kind of like Wolves on the money line, but we're just going to take them at plus half. So all they have to do is draw or win, and we cash that half of the parlay. The other is Crystal Palace is at home against Fulham. Fulham is not a very good team at all. Crystal Palace is pretty sneaky. I think they end this year in the top 10. They've got a lot of really talented players. Chelsea was after one of them, and he said, no, I'd rather just stay here. I don't want your money. So I like Crystal Palace quite a bit, and we're going to take them at plus 0.5 as well. So Wolves and Crystal Palace both to draw or win, and we're going to get this at minus 150. So a little bit of juice, but this is a super safe soccer play. And it gives you something to be excited about at 8 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time when you want to turn on some Premier League action while you're getting ready for a beautiful day of football.
I'm into it. We talked our very first episode of this entire show was fading Luton Town as someone that you're probably going to be fading as a bottom table, probably getting relegated again type team. And so we will continue that trend throughout the year, I would assume.
Yes. Take us to some football.
Yeah, I'm going to move us into the college, the American football. We're gonna get over some college football here. I don't think I have any of these times in a specific order, so I apologize if you're like looking at your sheet and it's like by time. So I'm just going to go with what I have in order, and I'm going to start with Kansas against BYU. I love the Kansas quarterback, and I think BYU has played far better than people have expected and have been putting up points. So I like this Big 12 matchup to become a Big 12 shootout and be over 54.5 points. I really do think that's what will happen in this game. This Kansas team is just fun. I'm going to say Jaden Daniels. It's Jalen Daniels, I think, looks pretty legit and is going to put points up. And then we are going to see if BYU can get us 2 or 3 touchdowns to kind of get over this total. So
I like it. I'm going to go with Oklahoma minus 9.5 and over 35.5 team total points at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not the same Cincinnati they were when they were, in the playoff. They have lost so much talent. They've lost their head coach. This Oklahoma team, Dylan Gabriel, and even Jackson Arnold, true freshman. He'll come in the fourth quarter and won't skip a beat. So you don't have to worry about what if they take their pedal off the metal because they're already up big to get this over 35.5 points because they just can't stop scoring. So love this play. Cincinnati's not quite what they would like to be just yet in the Big 12. Oklahoma is on a mission. Get this at plus 108.
Yep. No, I think that's great. I'm actually going to move us to I want to move us into our picks. We both have a pick on this Marshall Virginia Tech game, which we alluded to in yesterday's show. And so we both think Virginia Tech's defense is suspect. And I think our picks do represent that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Marshall team total over 12.5 in the first half. So all we need are 2 touchdowns. Actually, we just need a touchdown and 2 field goals. I think they can get this in multiple ways. I don't hate the number. So again, this is purely a bet against Virginia Tech's defense in a border rivalry type game.
And it's a bet for Rashina Lee, running back for Marshall, who is incredible. He is going to feast on this Virginia Tech defense. This to me feels like a really solid play. I am on this game, and I want Marshall on the money line. The line is minus 5.5, which is probably fine as well, but things can get weird in these kind of rivalry games. So I want Marshall on the money line. I think they take care of business at home. And then give me in this parlay Alabama on the money line hosting Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has been chirping an awful lot. Saban, I think, will be just fine in this one. I think Jalen Milroe actually has a really good game. I do have him in a couple tournaments in DFS. I think he could just crank out yards on the ground. I think they will learn from their mistakes in that Texas game, and I don't think they're going to try to air it out. Bless you, by the way. So I think Milroe gets it done along with their stable of running backs. So give me Alabama on the money line, Marshall on the money line at plus 103.
I love some of these value college parlays that we put together. They're so much fun. It gives you reason to cheer and watch multiple games. I really do enjoy them. I'm going to take you to a team, a couple teams that I'm fading this year. That's going to be Nebraska versus Louisiana Tech, and I'm going to take the under 47. This number feels high for how much these offenses have underperformed. This is probably not a game I'm going to watch because
if you're going to put it on the show, you have to DVR it, record it, and you must watch it. You must.
I'm going to be honest. If this is on at the same time as CU Oregon and CU is getting absolutely blown out, I might switch over to Nebraska La Tech and just post it on social media just to prove a point that I can't watch the Buffs get blown out. Look, Nebraska's defense looks pretty solid. That is definitely the best part of their team. My regular joke is that my favorite time of year is to watch Nebraska fans holding up their stupid X, which represents their black shirt defense, and then the other team goes and shoves it down their throat right after they showed the fan doing that. I don't think that's actually going to happen here. Louisiana Tech, it was supposed to have a great offense coming in with Bachmeier leading the charge. Hasn't really happened, hasn't shown up. I think Nebraska is able to control them. And also, Nebraska doesn't have an offense. So I think Nebraska is going to win this game. Sims is out, which might be the scariest part of this under not hitting, because that man is an absolute liability on offense and should not be playing the position of quarterback for any team. So the fact that he's out,
he was at Georgia Tech when Georgia Tech was running the triple option, so that made sense.
How did that work out for him? Man, it's just So honestly, a new quarterback might actually lose this bet, but I'm gonna go with Nebraska's offense being absolute garbage, but their defense being good, and I think that's going to add up to an under here for us. So, Steve, nice. What else do you got for us?
I've got a doozy. One of the games of the week, really, on a loaded week, which we've already talked about. I am on FSU -2 versus Clemson. Crazy that this is a 10 o'clock kickoff. It feels like it should be prime time. But I mean, if you recall, FSU was one of my dark horse candidates to make it to the college football playoffs at plus 360. So I've been on them all year. Clemson, I have not been. I know Clemson has looked really good their last game and a half, but honestly, FSU I just think they're the better team. I don't really think that being on the road, I mean, obviously it's a huge deal, but I don't think it's enough to get Jordan Travis and company out of pace. So I want FSU -2. I think they win the game. You can take them on the money line if you're a little nervous. I got this on Monday at -1.5, so the line moved a tiny bit. But yeah, I feel like the Seminoles are the better team here. If I thought they were going to make the playoff, they haven't done that much to show me otherwise. They've dominated at times. Yeah, Boston College came back last week, but we talked about the magician that is Thomas Castellanos on last night's DFS show. So give me FSU -2. I know we're running long here, Eric, but I know you were leaning this way too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm leaning towards FSU. The Clemson playing better scares me a little bit, but I think FSU has just surpassed them, and we've seen that in the first couple of weeks. Like, I wasn't sure, and now I feel pretty confident saying that FSU has surpassed Clemson in the ACC. So 2 points seems pretty great.
And I think, the transfer portal has been and will continue to be the talking point here as Dabo refuses to utilize it. And FSU has brought in so many people through that, including one Keon Coleman, who balled out week 1, and Trey Benson, who I think is going to have a good game. He's been quiet so far this year, but he is the Oregon transfer that now is at Florida State. So
it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game for sure. We got some great games out with the Notre Dame, Ohio State. And I'm really excited to watch that game tomorrow. There's plenty to distract me from the CU blowout if that does happen. So
there's also like Penn State, Iowa. I mean, there's so many good games.
Oh, so good. Okay, I'm taking you to a game that just seems crazy to me that Syracuse is only favored by 13 against Army. Army is definitely the least of the Service Academy schools this year, and we've talked a lot about Service Academy football this year for some reason. But Army is by far the worst. I was actually just pulling up some more stats, which I had earlier, but had to refresh my brain. Syracuse just put up 35 against Purdue, who is a defensive-minded head coach. Like their head coach is defensive-minded all the way, and they put up 35 points on Purdue. You know, they played Colgate and Western Michigan and also put up 65 and 48 points. Kind of a hard comparison there. Now, if we kind of go over to Army and what they've done, Army put up 13 points against Louisiana Monroe, and they put up 37 points against UTSA, which might be the worst team in the country. It's a bottom 5 team. And then Delaware State, I don't think actually qualifies as college football. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I think 13 points is an easy cover for Syracuse, who clearly has some offense, and really it doesn't take much to limit Army defensively if you're a Power 5 school going against a service academy. So that's where I'm coming from there. I think Syracuse gets this minus 13.
Awesome. I love it. I forgot. I have to add one more real quick. Cal goes to Washington. We're going to take Washington minus 20.5. I know you're on that too, right, Eric?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Cal versus Washington.
You don't have to put it up.
Are you sure? I want the people to know.
Well, I said it. It counts. It's on there. But dude, yeah, I think
I love Washington.
Yeah, so we're going to do that too.
They're my favorite pack. They're obviously CU is my favorite Pac-12 team because that's where I'm an alumni and that's my team. When I'm talking of like who's my team, I think is going to be the best and most successful this year. It is Washington, and I love them. I'm so happy CU's not playing them this year. I am cheering for the Huskies all the way.
Go Ducks. All right. Follow us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. Download the show, rate, review, all the good things. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We are going to give you the quick rundown of our plays for the week. I will start. We are on Luton Town versus Wolves. We're going to go with Wolves plus 0.5. We're also on Crystal Palace 0.5 versus Fulham. That parlay will get you minus 150. We're also on Marshall money line and Alabama money line in a parlay at plus 103. We went Oklahoma minus 9.5 and over 35.5 team total points at Cincinnati at plus 108. Give us FSU minus 2 at Clemson at minus 110. And finally, Washington hosting Cal minus 20.5. Eric, let's hear your plays for Saturday, September 23rd.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. I got Kansas and BYU over 54.5 points. I have Marshall taking it to that Virginia Tech defense with a first half team total over of 12.5. Then I also have Nebraska versus Louisiana Tech under 47 points. And last but not least, I have Syracuse Orange. There's the orange now. Versus Army at minus 13. You can get that at minus 110 for the juice. And I think that's all we have. Steve, you gonna wrap us up here?
Yeah, you guys, thank you again so much for listening. I'm excited for a wonderful day of college football. We are on a heater, so we're going to enjoy that and ride that. Thank you guys so much. We will be with you. We've got NFL DFS coming up later tonight, so do enjoy that as well because that will be a ton of fun. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace.